Hey guys, so welcome to part two of the three common things I've noticed that is holding your business, well, hopefully not yours, but businesses, especially SMEs, back, right? And it's from a personal perspective. So what are the things I've noticed in business owners or entrepreneurs or even entrepreneurs that are holding them back, right? So go and watch the first video. I think it's up here somewhere. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of MIA with Damini. Get a pen, grab a notepad, and happy learning. And let me just jump right into number two. So number two is risk, right? We all have an idea what risk is. However, there's good risk and there's bad risk, right? And with risk, it's more of those things that you build it. It's like a skill, right? You build your appetite for risk. For example, you know how I wanted to use one example of alcohol, how you build your alcohol tolerance, but let me not promote let me not promote alcohol abuse. But how would I put this now? Let me look for an example that we can relate to that works. Okay. When I was 13, yes, I think I was 13 years old when I got my first bicycle. It was my birthday gift. And I remember the first time I took it outside the gate. Was I 13 or 10? I think it was probably 10. I can't remember. It was a nice bicycle shop, BMX. So I took it outside the gate and I couldn't ride, obviously. Then I was doing something on the bicycle. I wouldn't call it riding. I can't remember. And the reason I can remember is because I ended up inside gutter. I ended up inside the gutter and I tore my knee. I think it's one of the few scars I have on my body. Again, I don't like stress, I don't like problems. So I don't have a lot of scars, but I have a scar on my knee from that. And fast forward like a month or two later, I was enrolled in estate races. So people in the estate used to have bicycles. They used to race around the estate. 2 months I was in those races, racing, coming first. Am I lying? Did I come first? I can't remember to be fair. I came first now. I probably came first. I need to find a way to be sure, but I think I came first. If they come and they say that I did not come first, I don't know. I think I came first. And I started doing like all those raise the tire up, all those wheelies, all of those. In like 3 months, 6 months, I was a pro bike rider. Same thing with swimming. I started swimming in primary school, and I stopped. I never could do the back swimming thing, right? And then after a while, I learned how to do the back, and now I'm a pro at it. It's the same way you build your risk. Let me not tell you all the story of my life history, and then we miss the plot. It's the same way you build risk, right? It's the same way you build your appetite for risk. You as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur, you need to have a good appetite for risk. You need to know when is a good time to make an investment in research and development, or when it's good to make that investment in increasing your marketing budget. When it's good to hire that person or bring that person to your team. You need to be able to take that risk. You can't have a pessimistic mind. You can't have a pessimistic mind looking at, oh, this money, I might as well use it to buy more stock. Okay, fine, you buy more stock, but then you can't sell the stock, right? It's also being small-minded, by the way. Like, no offense, but that's one thing that I look at. I also look at it from that angle, that is you being small-minded, that you rather have stock that might not move for like 2 years, 3 years, but the stock is there. Instead of you investing in manpower, instead of you investing in better marketing services or something, right? It's one of those things that with time you build your risk, and how you want to go about it is small investments here and there, nothing too ridiculous, nothing too outrageous, right? A current project I'm running right now, right? When we first started, with, I'm going to give you made up numbers. I'm going to give you actual numbers. So let's say we started this with 100 naira. Started with 100 naira. I started running ads, mostly on Meta. So Facebook, Instagram, and then Facebook, Instagram, and Google. Does that one? Yeah. No, Facebook and Instagram. And let's say we start with 100 naira. So 100 naira You brought up few people, something was happening, all of that. You know, again, there's data now, and I always tell people to work with your data. So you are showing that this thing is working. However, you need to put more. You know, Mark and his boys, until you give them money before they work, they're very lazy boys. Until you give them money before their head will touch. So, you know, you have that conversation that I think we need to make more investments in this thing. So from 100 naira, they increase it to 500 naira. All of a sudden, sales are coming in, money is coming in. And you know, as a business owner, cash flow will forever be king, right? Cash flow will forever be king. Let me say it again. Cash flow will forever be king. So far you're making money. All of a sudden, you have a winning product. All of a sudden, you have more customers. You have return customers. You have repeat customers. Wait a minute. That stock you are buying, all of a sudden, you're buying more stock. And the stock is not staying there for 2 years. It's moving fast because you've taken risk in, you know, shooting better content. You've taken risk in marketing your products online or offline in another channel. Or you're taking risk in paying that influencer some money. You need to learn how to take risk, right? Now, totally different ballgame. If you want to build an app, and you want to build an app like Uber or Bolt or Jumia, let's say you want to build an app like Jumia, and you say that, okay, you know what, I want to use the smallest money possible so that I will not lose too much. I want to use 50K, 50,000 naira. What's your problem? It can't work now. Don't do that. It's not going to work. You are building. What are you building? What's that? You and I both know that will require more funding. I don't know how much money I will say top of my head, but it requires more funding. So it's the same way you need to evaluate that risk. And it doesn't have to be something that you carry the burden on your shoulders. If you know that, okay, you know what, you don't want to make that investment of putting maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 million naira on a particular app idea of let's say $5,000 or £5,000 on a particular app idea, get a job. Part of your earnings from that job, put some money aside. Hire somebody that would create the app. Hire a team that will create that app. And you know, when you get paid, you what's it called? You pay that team to continue building. What's the worst case scenario? The app will not work. It will not succeed, and you will move on. You already have job. You can feed your family now, right? So it's one of those things that you need as a business owner. You need to build your risk appetite. You need to build your risk, and the world, especially this digital world that we're going into, has made it so. It has made it possible. It has made it so possible. It's impossible is now truly nothing, right? Impossible is now truly nothing for us. We just need to have that appropriate risk appetite, right? Again, there's crazy risk, there's crazy high risk, there's crazy low risk. It's up to you. But we just need to have that right risk. And once we're able to have that right risk, I am sure every single thing we're doing, gold. All right, take it easy, guys.
So it's a wrap. That's about it for today. So you'll be hearing from me in another episode, I guess. But don't forget to share this with your friends, your family, people that have businesses, and that will find this type of content useful. So yeah, you'll be hearing from me soon.